morning all of you. Today I will again discuss with you some important pattern of problems which is related to compound angle problem. In the previous class I have already told you you have to only remember your formulae and some important clue that helps to you solve important type of problems. And in this video I will again discuss some important pattern of problems. First of all, before going towards problem, I want to give you some idea that helps to understand all those problems. Firstly, I want to introduce componendo and dividendo, about which you have already studied in previous classes. Further, I will discuss it because sometimes it is directly used. In that case, when componendo and dividendo is a rule in which it says that if A upon B is equal to C upon D, then you can apply on both componendo and dividendo. In numerator part will be parts of componendo and denominator part will be dividendo. That means A plus B divided by A minus B can be written as C plus D divided by C minus D. That means it is a conditional statement. That means if A by B is equal to C by D, then A plus B divided by A minus B is equal to C plus D divided by C minus D. This is called a componendo and dividendo. Sometimes a lot of problems which is solved using componendo and dividendo. So you have to remember it very carefully. Now I want to take problems which is based on this problem. Before it, there is a very famous problem. Sometimes this is asked in competition directly. Example 22, in which it says that if x minus y is equal to pi by 4, then you have to show that 1 plus 10x into 1 minus 10x 1 plus 10x into 1 plus 10y is equal to 2 times 10x. Firstly, before solving it, it is given that x minus y is equal to pi by 4. Now there arises definitely question. If x minus y is equal to pi by 4, it is given that definitely you have to use it. So you have to proceed from given condition. From given condition, can you say that x minus y is equal to pi by 4? If you take on both sides 10, can you write it 10x minus y is equal to 10 pi by 4? As you know that 10x minus y is equal to 10x minus 10y divided by 1 minus 10x into 10y, which is equal to 1. That means 10x minus 10y divided by 1 plus 10x into 10y is equal to 1. If you write it as then after cross multiplication, after cross multiplication, can you write it as 10x minus 10y is equal to 1 plus 10x into 10y. Now you have to show 1 plus 10x into 1 plus 10y is equal to 210x. If you take 10x in RHS, can you write 10x is equal to 1 plus 10x plus 10y plus 10x into 10y. Here we have done two manipulations. First of all, I have taken 10y in RHS and after it I have added on both sides 10x. 10x, first 10x, here I added 10x and 10x on both sides because we have to achieve 2 10x. Now can you told about it? 10x plus 10x, that will be 2 10x. That will be, if you take, here it will be 1 plus 10x and plus, if you take 10y common both term, you get 1 plus 10x times 10y. If you take common on both term 1 plus 10x, can you say about it? It will be 1 plus 10x times 1 plus 10y. That means 2 10x is equal to 1 plus 10x into 1 plus 10y, which is required for you. Now we take next problem. In the next question, it says to you sin x into sin y sin x into sin y minus cos x into cos y plus 1 is equal to 0. Plus 1 is equal to 0. Then you have to show that, prove that 1 plus cot x into tan y is equal to 0. First of all, from given condition, can you say, from given condition, can you say sin x into sin y minus cos x into cos y? If you take minus common, then it will be cos x into cos y minus sin x into sin y. That represents cos x plus y. Plus 1 is equal to 0. If you take 1 towards right, you can say that cos x plus y is equal to 1. Why? Because it will be negative 1, and if you multiply on both sides negative sign, you get finally cos x plus y is equal to 1. Now you have to find the value of 1 plus cot x into tan y. Now 1 plus cot x into tan y is equal to 0. That implies that if you write it, 1 plus, it can be written as 1 plus cot x, that will be cos x by sin x into tan y, that will be sin y by cos y. If you take its LCM, you get sin x into cos y, plus cos x into sin y. Divided by sin x into cos y. Can you write it as, now as you know that sin x into cos y plus cos x into sin y, sin x plus cos y, sin x plus cos y, and cos x plus sin y divided by sin x into cos y, and sin x into cos y, here you get cos x plus y is equal to 1. If cos x plus y is equal to 1, then what is the value of, here it will be sin x plus y, because it is the formula of sin x plus y divided by sin x into cos y. And you know that if cos x plus y is equal to 1, then x plus y is equal to definitely pi by 2. If x plus y is pi by 2, or in other words, you can find also cos x plus y is equal to 1, then sin x plus y is equal to sin x plus y is equal to under root 1 minus sin square x plus y. Then you get 1 minus 1 square, that will be 0. So you can find sin x plus y is equal to 0 divided by something, definitely it will be 0. So 1 plus cot x into tan y is equal to 0. Simply you have to proceed according to your given condition. And you have to also consider about at which point, what is your goal. After it, everything become very easy for you. Now we take next example. In the next example, it says to you, if 10x is equal to p plus 1, it says to you 10x is equal to p plus 1 and 10y is equal to p minus 1. 10y is equal to p minus 1. Then so that 2 times cot x minus y is equal to p square. So that 2 times cot x minus y is equal to p square. Solution. Firstly, you have to proceed from LHS. From LHS, can you write it? 2 times cot x minus y divided by 2 times cot x minus y, that means 2 times cot x minus y can be written as 2 divided by 10x minus y is equal to 2 by 10x minus y is equal to 10x minus 10y into 1 plus 10x into 10y, which is equal to 2 times 1 plus 10x, which is equal to p plus 1 into 10y, that will be p minus 1, divided by 10x minus 10y, that means p plus 1 minus p minus 1. P cancel. Here 1 plus 1, that will be 2 to cancel, and 1 plus p. P plus 1 into p minus 1, that means p square minus 1. 1 and minus 1 will be cancelled out, and finally you get RHS of your proven part, that means p square. Now we take next example again. In the next problem, it is given that if tan beta is equal to n sin alpha into cos alpha, if tan beta is equal to n sin alpha into cos alpha, n sin alpha into cos alpha divided by 1 minus n sin square alpha, then show that tan alpha minus beta is equal to 1 minus n into tan minus alpha. Solution: you have to show that tan minus alpha is equal to 1 minus n into tan alpha. Firstly, from LHS, can you write tan alpha minus beta is equal to tan alpha minus tan beta divided by 1 plus tan alpha into tan beta? Now, tan alpha can be written as sin alpha by cos alpha, and minus tan beta is equal to n sin alpha into cos alpha divided by 1 minus sin square alpha, n sin alpha into cos alpha, because tan beta is equal to, given that 1 minus sin square alpha divided by 1 plus tan alpha, that will be sin alpha into cos alpha, into tan beta is equal to again n times sin alpha into cos alpha divided by 1 minus n sin square alpha. If you take its LCM, what will be you get? What will be you get? Here it will be sin alpha minus n times sin alpha minus n times sin cube alpha. Here it will be n times sin alpha into cos square alpha, and you get its denominator cos alpha into 1 minus sin into sin square alpha. I don't want to write it, because in similar way you also get in its denominator cos alpha into 1 minus n into sin square alpha. After writing it, both terms will be cancelled out. So I want to write it numerator of this numerator and numerator of this expression. So you can directly write here cos alpha minus sin square n times sin square alpha into cos alpha, and it will be sin n times sin square alpha into cos alpha plus n times sin square alpha into cos alpha. This is your final expression. Now, if you take here common some term, I want to firstly rub it. Firstly check out sin alpha minus sin n times sin cube alpha cos alpha, that means 1 minus sin alpha into cos square alpha. Similarly cos alpha minus n sin square alpha, and the cos and you in denominator you get n times sin square alpha into cos alpha. Now I rub it. Now if you take in this problem something, if you take sin alpha common from numerator, you get sin alpha into 1 minus n sin square alpha, and in this expression you get n times cos square alpha, while in denominator if you take cos alpha common, then you get 1 minus n sin square alpha plus 1 sin square alpha. There is very important term for you, tan alpha minus tan beta. 1 minus 1 tan alpha minus tan beta divided by 1 plus tan alpha into tan beta. 1 plus alpha into beta and tan a minus tan b. I think there should be minus or plus. You have to check out because in denominator if you take in denominator tan alpha minus tan beta is equal to this term and 1 minus 1 tan alpha, that means tan alpha by cos alpha, and you get cos alpha minus n times sin square alpha, and in denominator you get plus. I think here should be there should be plus sign. You have to check out something will be wrong in the previous top step. So you have to check out there should be plus sign. After it you cancel out this term. Sorry. You get n times sin square alpha. Everything become okay here. Now you have to take another step. Firstly, now you get here 1 minus n sin square alpha into cos alpha. If you take cos alpha common here, then you get here after adding n square minus n cos square alpha and n cos square alpha and sin square alpha. I want to have adding some important part. Here it will be n times sin square alpha. If you add here n times cos square alpha and subtract n times cos square alpha and n times sin square alpha. Sorry, cos square alpha. Here I have done some important step because in numerator you get here minus n cos square alpha and you have to get here 1 minus n times tan alpha. Definitely you have to consider firstly you have to take common something, that means 1 minus n. If you take here common 1 minus n, after it becomes complete your answer. So I think you have to don't take here. I want to tell you 1 minute wait. Here you get 1 plus n sin square alpha. If you write sin alpha into 1 minus n sin square alpha minus n, here it will be n cos square alpha. If in its inner part you add n sin square alpha and you also subtract n sin square alpha, then what do you get? Can you write similarly in denominator 1 minus n sin square alpha plus n sin square alpha? It is your denominator part. Sorry, I have again right here n sin square alpha and cos square alpha, n sin square alpha and n sin square alpha. What do we do here? Sorry. Here n sin square alpha and n sin square alpha is cancel over. I don't see here. So I do some mistakes. Both term will be cancel out and in numerator you get sin alpha by cos alpha, that means tan alpha into in denominator into cos alpha into 1, that will be cancelled over, and if you take common here and then you get sin square alpha plus cos square alpha, that will be 1. So n times 1, that means 1 minus n. I have done some mistakes, so finally I got your answer RHS. There is actually I don't see carefully here. You can take common here, and sin square alpha plus cos square alpha will be 1, and simultaneous, that means and sin square alpha here positive and minus sin square alpha will be negative. I don't see it, so due to it I face problem here. Now we take next example. It is also very easy. You have to simply find that tan alpha minus beta. After it you have to put tan beta, and after it you have to manage terms, manipulate such that you can get simply 1 minus n common, and finally and you have to also get in multiplication tan alpha. That is very simple. Now we take next example. That will be 26. In 26, it asks to you. In 26, it is given that 10x is equal to sin alpha minus cos alpha. Sin alpha minus cos alpha divided by sin alpha plus cos alpha. Sin alpha plus cos alpha. Then you have to show that. Then prove that sin alpha plus cos alpha. Sin alpha plus cos alpha is equal to root 2 into cos x. Root 2 into cos x. Root 2 into cos x. You have to proceed from given condition. As you know that it is given that 10x is equal to sin alpha minus cos alpha divided by sin alpha plus cos alpha. If you take a negative common and divide by cos alpha on both sides, you get minus 1 common. In this case, if you divide by cos alpha in numerator and denominator simultaneously, then you get cos alpha by cos alpha, that will be 1. And you have taken already minus 1 common, so it will be positive and it will be negative, and it will be tan alpha because you have already divided by cos alpha in numerator and denominator, and in denominator you get 1 plus tan alpha. As you know that 1 minus tan alpha divided by 1 plus tan alpha. This is the formula of what? 10 pi by 4 minus x. 10 pi by 4 minus x. Now here minus 1 times 10 pi by 4. If you take a negative in its part, how can you write it? Because you know that minus theta is equal to minus tan theta. So can you write it 10 x minus pi by 4, which is equal to 10x, which is equal to 10x. Sorry, it is alpha, so you have to write here alpha. That means alpha minus pi by 4, that will be 10x. Now I want to rub this part. You get x is equal to alpha minus pi by 4. Now you have to apply on both sides sin x, sorry cos x. If you apply on both sides cos x, can you write it? Alpha is equal to x minus x plus pi by 4. Now if you apply sorry if you apply on both sides cos, can you write it? Cos x is equal to cos alpha minus pi by 4. That implies that cos x is equal to cos a into cos b. Cos b, that means pi by 4, that will be 1 upon root 2 plus sin a into sin b, that means sin pi by 4, that means 1 upon root 2. If you take if you multiply on both sides by root 2, if you multiply by root 2 on both sides, you get simply root 2 times cos x is equal to cos alpha plus sin alpha, which is have to prove you. This is also very simple. Now we take next problem. In the next question, one minute wait. In the next question, it is say that you have to prove that cot 2x plus 10x is equal to cosec 2x. This is very simple. Can you write cot from LHS? First you have to write from LHS. Cot 2x can be written as cos 2x divided by sin 2x plus 10x can be written as sin x by cos x. If you take, can you write it cos 2x cos a into cos b plus sin a into sin b, and in denominator you will get its LCM as sin 2x into cos x. If you add cos a into cos b plus sin a into sin b, then you can write it cos a minus b divided by sin 2x into cos x. Cos 2x minus x, that will be cos x divided by sin 2x into cos x. Here cos x cancel, and 1 upon sin 2x will be cosec 2x, which is your RHS. Now we take again next example, 28. In 28, it says that if 10x is equal to 2, if 10x is equal to 2, then 2 times 10y, 10x is equal to 2 times 10y, then you have to show that, prove that sin x plus y divided by sin x plus x minus y, sin x plus y divided by sin x minus y is equal to 3 by 1. How can you solve it? As you know that 10x is equal to 2 times 10y. So can you write 10x by 10y is equal to 2 by 1? As you know that sin x, 10x can be written as sin x by cos x, and 10y can be written as sin y by cos y, which is equal to 2 by 1. If you apply here componendo and dividendo, as you know that if a by b is equal to c by d, then a plus b divided by a minus b is equal to c plus d divided by c minus d. Here it is as a plus, here it is as a and it is as b. 2 will be c and 1 will be d. So can you write it sin x into cos y plus, here it will be into multiplication, sir, cos x into sin y divided by cos x, sorry, divided by sin x into cos y minus cos x into sin y. That will be 2 plus 1 divided by 2 minus 1. 2 plus 1, that will be 3, and 2 minus 1, that will be 1. So it will be 3. Now sin a into cos b plus cos a into sin b, that will be sin x plus y. In denominator you get sin x into cos y minus cos x into sin y, that will be sin x minus y, which is equal to 3 by 1, which is your required answer. That means sin x plus y divided by sin x minus 1 is equal to 3 by 1, which is your required answer. Now we take next problem. I have already discussed about componendo and dividendo because I know that it is important for you for solving good problems. Now we take also next example in which it says that the next example I will again apply componendo and dividendo on both sides. In the next example it says that if x plus y is equal to z, if x plus y is equal to z and 10x and 10x is equal to k times 10y. Then prove that sin z is equal to k plus 1 divided by k minus 1 into sin x minus y. Into sin x minus y. X plus y is equal to z. Now, before solving it, you have to consider about your given condition. Here it is given that x plus y is equal to z and 10x is equal to k times 10y. If you consider about this expression k plus 1 divided by k minus 1, you will definitely consider there will be definitely applied componendo and dividendo, because it is just as a plus b divided by a minus b. So you have to use firstly that condition which helps to you easily applying componendo and dividendo, and that also give you k plus 1 divided by k minus u, because here there is given two condition. Definitely you are surprised which condition will be used firstly. So I will suggest you, here it is given that k plus 1 divided by k minus 1. In that case, it will be definitely part of componendo and dividendo. So you have to firstly use 10x is equal to k times 10y, because you can write 10x by 10y is equal to k. And after componendo and dividendo, can you write it as k plus 1 divided by k minus 1. So since 10x is equal to k times 10y, can you write it sin x by cos x is equal to k times sin y by cos y. If you take in numerator, can you write it as sin x into cos y by cos x into sin y? That will be k by 1. If you apply here componendo and dividendo on both sides, can you write applying componendo and dividendo on both sides? Then you get sin x into cos y plus cos x into sin y. That means sin x into cos y plus cos x into sin y divided by cos x into sin y minus sin x into cos y. Here you can't see, so I want to write it in above. Firstly I want to rub it. Applying componendo and dividendo on both sides, can you write it sin x into cos y plus cos x into sin y divided by sin x into cos y minus cos x into sin y is equal to k plus 1 divided by k minus 1. Now here it is sin a into cos b plus cos a into sin b. That will be sin x plus y. In denominator, it will be sin x minus y, which is equal to k plus 1 divided by k minus 1. If you take in rightward side, can you write it as sin x plus y? That implies that sin x plus y is equal to z. So can you write sin z is equal to k plus 1 divided by k minus 1 into sin x minus y, which is required answer for you. That means sin z is equal to k plus 1 divided by k minus 1 into sin x minus y. Now you have to take next problem. In the next question, question second, cos 2x into cos 2y plus cos square x minus y minus cos square sorry, cos square x plus y minus cos square x minus y is equal to cos 2x plus 2y. You have to prove it. Prove that that will be this will be cos 2x plus 2y. Solution. From LHS, can you write it cos 2x into cos 2y plus? If you write it 1 minus sin square x plus y minus cos square x minus y, can be 1 minus sin square x minus y. Here 1 and minus 1 will be cancel each other and you get cos 2x into cos 2y plus here sin square a minus sin square b. As you know that sin square a minus sin square b is equal to sin a plus b into sin a minus b, x minus y minus x minus y. Here x and x will be cancelled over and you get cos 2x into cos 2y and minus y, that means minus 2y. If you take negative common, then you get sin minus theta is equal to minus sin theta. So you can write here you cancel over y and y, you get sin 2x. So can you write minus sin 2x and here minus y and minus y sin minus 2y. So as you know that sin minus theta is equal to minus sin theta. So I have written here minus and you can write here sin 2x into sin 2y. As you know that it will be cos a into cos b minus sin a into sin b, because if you take 2x as a and 2y as b, then you can write it cos a into cos b minus sin a into sin b. That means it will be finally cos a plus b, that means cos 2x plus cos 2y. It is your RHS of your given expression. Now we take again next problem for you. In the next question, it says to you, you have to prove that 10x into 10x plus pi by 3, 10x into 10x plus pi by 3 plus 10x plus pi by 3 into 10x minus pi by 3 plus 10x minus pi by 3 into 10x is equal to minus 3. You have to show that LHS will be equal to minus 3. Now you will definitely consider about this question. How can you solve it? Firstly, you have to go from LHS. So from LHS, can you write if you take 10x common from first and last term, then you get 10x time 10x plus pi by 3 plus 10x minus pi by 3. What will be the value of 10x plus pi by 3 and 10x minus pi by 3? 10x plus pi by 3 can be written as 10x plus 10 pi by 3. 10 pi by 3 is equal to what? Root 3 divided by 1 minus 10a, sorry, 1 minus 10a into 10b, that means 10 pi by 3, that will be root 3, plus if you take here 10x minus 3, it can be written as 1 minus, sorry, 10x minus root 3 divided by 1 plus 10x root 3, and you get plus, if you write its formula, you get 10x plus root 3 into 1 minus root 3 into 10x into root 3 10a minus 10b, that means 10x minus root 3 divided by 1 minus 1 plus root 3 10x. It is the formula of this part and it is this part. Now you have to calculate it. 10x into, here its LCM will be 1 minus 3 10 square x. Can you write it? And if you multiply 10x plus root 3 into 1 plus 10x root 3. Then you get 10x plus root 3. And if you multiply by 10x root 3 10x in this term, you get root 3 10 square x. Root 3 10 square x plus 3 10x plus in this part you write 10x minus root 3 and it will be minus root 3 10 square x into minus minus plus 3 10x. It is the it is explanation of this term. Now you have to explain this term. You can leave it at present time, but I want to also write it into 10x plus root 3 into 10x minus root 3 can be written as 10 square x minus 3 divided by, in a denominator 1 minus root 3x into 1 plus root 3x can be written as 1 minus 3 10 square x. Now you have to manipulate it. First of all, here minus root 3 10 square x, here root 3 plus 10 square x. Here you get 3 10x and you get here also 3 10x. So you have to leave it. Now you have to consider about minus root 3 and here plus root 3. So the both term will be cancelled out. Now you have to consider about, you get 10x plus root 3 plus 3 10x plus 3 10x. So you can write it 10x plus 10x is equal to 2 10x. That is, I want to rub it. Now can you write it 10x plus 10x 2 10x plus 3 10x, that will be 3 3 6 7 plus 8, that means 8 10x. And 3, sorry, I have already written about it, and root 3 sorry, this term will be cancelled out here. This root 3 is cancelled with this root minus root 3. Now 3 plus 1 4 plus 5 plus 3 8 10x divided by into 10x divided by 1 minus 3 10 square x into 10 square x minus 3 divided by 1 minus 3 10 square x. And whole expression is multiplied with 10x. Sorry, not whole expression, only this part will be separate and this part is multiplied by 10x. So can you multiply by 3? If you multiply by 10x, here it is 10x, finally 10x into 10x 10 square x, and after multiplying 10x you will definitely get 10 cube x. That means can you write it in this place directly 8 times 10 cube x. Now if you write 8 times 10 cube x and multiply each other, then you get 1 minus 3 10 square x, and it will be 10 square x minus 3. Okay, now there is a very simple process. consider about if you write 10 square is equal to 1 upon cot square x. 1 minus 3 10 square x, then you get 1 upon, I think that is very simple, but I think I have done some mistakes here. You have to manipulate it, and you have to only calculate right way. After it you get finally minus 3. Maybe some mistake in this step, because I have jumped directly 2 or more than 2 steps, so you have to use it. Simply you can get this expression after calculating it. Maybe I want to here hint, there may be possibility 10 square x can be written as 1 upon cot square x, and maybe this term will be cancelled out by this term, and this term cancelled by this term, and finally you get in that case you finally get minus 3 after calculating. Maybe there may be some mistakes, you have to correct it and you have to proceed. There is not in this problem there is no any clue, there is only simple calculation, you have to proceed it simply. Now we take next example. The next example, it says that if m times 10 x minus pi by 6, if m times 10 x minus pi by 6 is equal to n times x plus 2 pi by 3, n times 10 x plus 2 pi by 3, then you have to show that, then prove that 2 times m minus n is equal to m plus n into sec 2x, m plus n into sec 2x. It is m plus n into sec 2x. Solution. Firstly, you have to convert it. It is simplest form. It is given that 10x plus 2 pi by 3 can be written as 10 pi minus pi by 3 plus x, that means pi. It is pi. This is pi, and pi minus 3, that means pi plus x minus pi by 3. Can you write it? Because pi minus pi by 3 is equal to 2 pi by 3 and x in addition, so you can write it here. Now pi plus theta, 10 pi plus theta will be what? 10 theta, so it will be x minus pi by 3. Now after writing it, you have to go to problems. Since m into m, if you take n into LHS, can you write m by n is equal to 10 x plus 2 pi by 3, can you write it x minus pi by 3 divided by, in denominator can you write 10x minus pi by 6. Now that implies that it will be m by n is equal to, if you write its formula, can you write it as 10a minus 10b, that means 10 pi by 3, that will be root 3 divided by 1 plus 10x into 10, 10a into 10b, that means root 3 divided by 10a minus b, that will here again you have to write 10a minus 10b, that means 10 6, that will be 1 upon root 3 divided by 1 minus 10a into 10 pi by 6, that means 1 upon root 3. Then you get, it will be then you will definitely get some some mistakes. So I want to say to you, you have to go by this procedure. Can you write it? Sin x minus pi by 3 divided by cos x minus pi by 3 divided by sin x minus pi by 6 divided by cos x minus pi by 6. I have simply write it. Now after manipulate you get sin times this term, sin x minus pi by 3 times cos x minus pi by 6 divided by, in denominator can you write cos x minus pi by 3 into cos x minus pi by 6. So you simply get m by n is equal to this term. Now there is a simple clue in this problem. If you apply on both side componendo and dividendo, then you get m plus n divided by m minus n. That will be sin into this term. That means I want to write it firstly. Sin x minus pi by 3 into cos x minus pi by 6 plus cos x minus pi by 3 into cos x minus pi by 6. Similarly, you get denominator term only in place of plus sign you get negative, and both term will be same. It will be as this and it will be as this. Now I want to rub it from this expression. You can say that it will be m plus n divided by m minus n is equal to, if you suppose x minus pi by 3 is equal to a and x minus pi by 6 is equal to b, then sin a into cos b plus cos a into sin b. That means definitely you can say that it will be sin a minus pi by 3, that means b, plus that means x minus pi by 6. In denominator you get this term minus this term, that means definitely you can say that here sin x minus pi by 3 minus x minus pi plus pi by 6, because here this term will be same and here this term will be same. Now x 2x, so you can write 2x minus pi by 2, and this term will be x cancel and pi by 3 plus pi by 6 will be what? Will be pi by 2. So can you write sin pi by 2? It will be pi by 2. Sin pi by 2 is equal to what? 1. Sin pi by 2 is equal to 1. So I want to rub it. Sin pi by 2 is equal to what? 1. Pi by 3 plus, firstly I want to add it. Sorry, it is not pi by 2. Pi by 6 minus pi by 3. Pi by 6 minus pi by 3. If you subtract from pi by 6, pi by 3, you get minus sin pi by 3. You get minus sin pi by 3. And in minus sin pi by 3 you get, in that case, sorry, minus sin pi by 6 you get, then you get m plus n divided by m minus n is equal to, if you take common minus from this expression, sin minus theta is it as sin minus pi by 2 minus 2x divided by, here it will be sin minus pi by 6, and if you take common sin minus theta is equal to minus sin theta, so you can write minus sin pi by 6 and sin pi by 6 is equal to what? 1 by 2. And you also know that sin minus theta is equal to minus sin theta, so you can also take here common in outside of this. Now minus minus cancel, and sin pi by 2 minus theta is equal to cos theta. So you can write cos 2x, and you take 2 in its numerator, so you can write it m plus n divided by m minus n is equal to 2 cos 2x. And if you take this term in LHS and this term in RHS, can you write it as 1 by cos 2x into m plus n is equal to 2 times m minus n. As you know that 1 upon cos 2x is equal to sec 2x, so can you write sec 2x into m plus n is equal to what? 2 times m minus 1, which is your required, that we wanted. Now I will again discuss next problem. In each problem, that means this type problem, you have to be careful only. If a plus b divided by a minus b, if m plus n divided by m minus n, such type are expression given or terms are given, then you always use componendo and dividendo. Firstly, you have to arrange given expression such a way such that it behaves as compound angle formula, as sin a plus b, sin a minus b, cos a plus b, cos a minus b. Any formula follow, then you have to apply on both sides, and you have to also consider about next step. What will be the next step? If you before solving you can easily consider about next step, then it becomes very easy for you, because in this case you can simply proceed towards your goal. Now we take next problem. This is also good type of problem, so you have to learn this problem 32. In this problem it says that if alpha and beta are distinct roots of a tan theta plus b sec theta. This is a good problem, so you have to learn it. If alpha and beta are two distinct real root of a tan theta plus b sec theta is equal to c, then so that tan alpha plus beta is equal to 2ac divided by a square minus c square. You have to show it. Firstly, you will definitely, if you face this problem, definitely consider about this problem. Here alpha and beta are two distinct roots. In that case, you definitely consider if there are two roots, definitely it becomes as quadratic equation, but it doesn't look as quadratic equation. So you have to convert this equation as quadratic such that its main funda you can understand so easily, because here it is given that it is two distinct roots. Before getting it in quadratic form, you can't consider about its two distinct roots. So firstly I want to convert it in quadratic form such that we can proceed towards goal. Simply, as you know that, can you write it b sec theta is equal to c minus a tan theta? If you square on both sides, you get b square sec square theta is equal to c square plus a square tan square theta plus 2ac minus 2ac tan theta. Now can you write sec square theta in terms of 1 plus tan square theta is equal to c square plus a square tan square theta minus 2ac tan theta? Now if you multiply in it and take all terms in LHS, you get b square into tan square theta. If you take in LHS, it becomes a square tan square theta. So you can write it b square minus a square tan square theta after taking common on both terms tan square theta. Then you write again b square plus b square and c square here constant. So you have to first write it in each side 2ac tan theta. And if you take c square analysis, you get b square minus c square is equal to 0. Now we have to consider about it. Here, this is the quadratic equation whose variable will be tan theta and abc will be constant. So you can say here alpha and beta are roots of this quadratic equation, but not a alpha and beta, because it is here variable becomes as tan. So you can consider here its root will be in terms of tan alpha and tan beta. So you can write here. I want to write first part. If tan alpha and tan beta are two distinct roots, then you can write it as you know that sum of roots in quadratic equation, that means alpha plus beta, here it will be equivalent as tan alpha plus tan beta is equal to minus b by a, where b is coefficient of x and a will be the coefficient of x square, that means coefficient of leading variable, that means leading coefficient, that is also called leading coefficient. So you can write minus b, that means 2ac by a, here a will be b square minus a square. Sorry, I think I have written wrong here. It will be c square. C square minus a square, because sorry, it will be said true. Then alpha plus tan beta is equal to minus 2ac divided by a square minus c square, and tan alpha, that means product of roots is equal to tan alpha into tan beta बराबर c by a, that means b square minus c square divided by b square minus c square, and it will be again b square minus a square, b square minus a square, b square minus c square by b square minus a square, and minus 2ac divided by b square minus a square. Now we have to find the value of tan alpha plus beta. As you know that tan alpha plus beta is equal to tan alpha plus tan beta divided by 1 minus tan alpha into tan beta. As you know that tan alpha plus tan beta is equal to minus 2ac by b square minus c square divided by, here you get tan alpha into tan beta is equal to b square minus c square. One minus b square minus c square divided by b square plus b square minus c square. If you calculate it, you get finally b square minus c square, b square minus c square cancel, and denominator you get a square minus c square, and it will be finally 2ac divided by a square minus c square, which is your RSS that you want. See, it is very simple. Tan alpha plus, you have to simply use tan alpha plus beta is equal to tan alpha plus tan beta divided by 1 minus tan alpha into tan beta. After it, you have to put the value of tan alpha plus tan beta, that will be 2ac by a square minus a square, and tan alpha into tan beta, that we want b square minus c square divided by b square minus a square. After it, you have to manipulate, and finally you get 2ac divided by a square minus c square. Now we take next problem, which is also good. In this problem, it says that find maximum, find find minimum value of 3 cos x plus 4 sin x plus 8. You have to find minimum value of this expression. Now, before solving it, I want to give you some concept about it. How can you solve this type problem? Firstly, if any trigonometric function is of the form a sin x plus b cos x, then how can you find its maximum and minimum value? There is very simple concept. You have to divide in its numerator and you have to multiply numerator and denominator by root under a square plus b square, where a is coefficient of sin x and b is coefficient of cos x. If you multiply numerator, then you have to also multiply numerator. Now, in this case, if you suppose a by under root a square by b square alpha, then b by under root a square plus b square automatically be cos alpha. So you can write it as sin alpha plus x, where alpha is equal to sin alpha is equal to a by root under a square plus b square, and cos alpha is equal to b by under root a square plus b square. In that case, it will be under root a square plus b square. So, what can you say about maximum value of sin alpha plus x? Here, a by root under a square alpha plus b square is equal to cos alpha, and b by a square root under b square is equal to sin alpha. In this case, cos alpha into sin x plus sin alpha into cos x. That means definitely you can say as sin alpha plus x into root under a square plus b square. What can you say about maximum and minimum value of this expression? Because it becomes always positive. It becomes always positive. Definitely, maximum and minimum value of this expression depends only this term. If you know about maximum and minimum value of this term, then you can easily find the maximum and minimum value of this expression. Here, as you know that maximum value of sine function is equal to 1 and the minimum value will be minus 1. So, you can say that here its maximum value 1. If you multiply by maximum value of this term, then you get maximum value of this expression, and if you multiply by minimum value of this term, you get minimum value of this term. So, you can say that maximum value of this expression will be what? Under root a square plus b square, because you know that maximum value of sine function is equal to 1 and minimum value of sine function is equal to minus 1. So, if you multiply by minus 1, you get under root a square plus b square. So, you can say that here minimum value of this expression will be minus times a square minus plus b square. So, whatever you get, given expression is this form, a sin x plus b cos x. Then you have to simply find by its coefficient maximum and minimum value. So, now you can solve it. This is a positive term. So, if this term will be maximum, then it gives maximum value. And if it becomes a minimum, then it gives minimum value. So, you have to find its maximum and minimum. So, you have to write it as we know that maximum value of 3 cos x plus 4 sin x is equal to under root. Sorry, you have to find minimum value. If it says to you maximum, then you have to find maximum. It says only minimum, so you don't try to find the value of maximum. It will be 3 square plus 4 square, that will be 5. Minimum value of this expression will be minus 5, because I have already told you minimum value of a sin x plus cos bx, a sin x plus b cos x is equal to minus under root a square plus b square, while maximum value of a sin x plus b cos x will be under root a square plus b square. So you can say that here minimum value of this expression will be under root 3 square plus 4 square, that will be minus 5, because minus times, and maximum will be simply you have to remove the minus from this expression. So minimum value of given expression is equal to minus 5 plus 8 is is equal to 3. While in this problem, it asks to you, you have to find the maximum value of this expression. Then you only you have to change simple concept. If you have to find maximum value of this expression, then you have to write here maximum value of this expression will be plus under root 3 square plus 4 square, that will be 5, and you have to simplify, that will be 30 in case of maximum, and I have already solved it in case of minimum. I think your all problems have been solved which is related to compound angle formula. Now in the next class I will discuss all problems or important type of problem which is related to multiple angle. After it I will again discuss some multiple angle. Multiple angle, that means before teaching I want to tell you, you have to remember all multiple angle formula. Add sin 2x is equal to 2 sin x into cos x is equal to 2 tan theta divided by 1 plus tan square theta. Cos 2x is equal to 1 minus tan square x divided by 1 plus tan square x. Similarly, it will be also is equal to cos square x minus tan square x is equal to 2 sin square x. Cos square x minus sin square x. It is also is equal to 1 minus 2 sin square x. It is also is equal to 2 cos square x minus x. You have to remember all this formula. With the help of this problem, you as well as there are also formula which is related to tan to theta is equal to 2 tan theta divided by 1 minus tan square theta. After it, every problem becomes very easy. But I want to tell you already before starting problems related to multiple angle, you have to remember all formula and some clue which is as a componendo and dividendo rule, as well as some formula which is related to algebra, that means a square plus b square, a square minus b square, a plus b whole square, a minus b whole square. After it, everything becomes easy. Thanks all of you. I will again discuss in next class which is related to I will again discuss all problems which is related to compound angle, multiple angle problem. Thanks all of you. I will again see you in next class.